While Shiori and her friend Mei are chatting, Mei's husband for the marriage practical comes along and relays his plans to spend the evening with Minami at a karaoke bar. And since the two husbands would be away, he harmlessly suggests that Shiori and Mei spend the evening together also. However, when Mei suddenly becomes intensely nervous, it begins to become clear that she also has feelings for Shiori. Later that evening, while Mei and Shiori are at a cafe planning how they're going to spend the evening, Shiori keeps bringing up Jiro. Mei then realizes that she does not stand a chance with Shiori and excuses herself, claiming to have a family emergency to attend to. While on the way, Shiori keeps thinking about her kiss with Jiro. She comes across a cafe with the word kiss in its name and stares at it for a bit. Unknown to her, Jiro had seen her through the window. He happens to be with Kamo, who is threatening him with a kiss after learning that Jiro has had more luck at kissing girls. When Jiro notices Shiori staring and then walking off, he assumes that she must have been weirded out after seeing Kamo and him. Jiro then pursues her and begins to apologize. However, halfway into the apology, he realizes Shiori hadn't seen them. Feeling relieved, he offers to escort her home. As they walk in silence, Jiro wonders what it would be like if he and Shiori had been paired as a couple. It seems like something he would have enjoyed. Along the way, Shiori finally gains the courage to talk about their kiss in the nurse's office. Although she had chickened out at the last minute, she was thankful he went along with it, and this makes Jiro happy. As summer approached, Jiro's high school prepares to go on summer vacation. However, the students were informed that the marriage practical would continue until the break. When Kamo informs Jiro that he has signed up both of them for a live-in job at a cafe on the beach, where they would work for 3 days straight while living in dorms, Jiro appears against the idea. Although he wouldn't mind making some extra money, he felt working at a cafe required social skills he didn't possess. However, when he discovers that Shiori and Mei had also signed up for the same job, he becomes excited at the idea of spending time with Shiori. Later at home, Akari greets Jiro in an incredibly risque bathing suit. Poor Jiro was taken completely by surprise, and all he could do was stare at her chest during an awkwardly long pause. When Akari asks Jiro what he thinks about the bathing suit, Jiro admits that he likes it, but is also worried about her wearing it out. Akari then tells him she had a second bathing suit and would only wear this one for his benefit, but Jiro just assumes that she is teasing him as usual. As they talk, Jiro discovers that Akari and her friends had also signed up for the same job at the cafe as he had. When the new hires arrive at the cafe, which also happens to be the same place Minami works, Minami is tasked with showing them around. After they settle in and get to work, Jiro and Shiori both end up on kitchen duty as they both couldn't handle the pressure of serving strangers in the cafe. However, things get heated up in the kitchen when Jiro spills some cream all over Shiori. Unfortunately, their intimate moment is interrupted when Shiori notices some faces staring through a little window in the kitchen door, and she quickly pushes Jiro away. Later, the group goes out on the beach during their free time. Jiro notices Akari in a different bathing suit from the one she showed him, and remembers what she had told him about that being a special one just for him. But again, he shudders at the thought of her being serious. Just then, Shiori heads over to Jiro and Kamo, with Mei beside her. When Mei accuses them of staring at girls, a defensive Kamo begins to ramble on about the sacredness of women's bodies, further exposing his extreme perviness. Shiori then suggests that their little group move over to another area. Some distance away, Akari feels a hint of jealousy when she notices Jiro having a good time with Shiori. Later on, when their entire group is back together, Akari and Jiro lose a game of rock, paper, scissors and are tasked with getting snacks for the group. On their way back, two guys begin to harass Akari, claiming that she was out of Jiro's league. With little idea of what to do in such a situation, Jiro abruptly blurts out that Akari is his wife, while simultaneously drawing her to himself. On hearing that both of them were married, the thugs lose interest and wander off. Much later, Akari emerges from the women's bath just as Jiro was leaving the men's bath. The two meet in the corridor. Noticing a sunburn spot on his neck, Akari offers to apply some lotion around Jiro's neck. While Akari is massaging his neck, Jiro continues to be paranoid about someone catching the two of them together. And just then, one of Akari's friends shows up looking for her. Luckily, the two manages to get some distance between them just in time. While on drink duty, Jiro calls Akari to ask for her preference. However, rather than call her by her actual name, he decides to switch back to her last name, Watanabe. This earns him a furious stare from Akari, and she walks off with her friend. Jiro then receives a text from her ordering him to meet her out on the beach. Later that night, Jiro meets Akari and notices that she's wearing the first bathing suit she wore back at their house. Once again, she informs Jiro that the bathing suit was only for his viewing pleasure and lectures him about using her last name and behaving distant towards her in public. Just then, Jiro and Akari see Shiori and Mei, who had decided to take a walk, heading in their direction. The couple ends up hiding away from the two girls in a little cramped compartment area. Jiro tries his best not to give in to his carnal desires. Fortunately, a scared Shiori and Mei flee the scene when they hear a noise coming from somewhere nearby. However, holed up in a tight space in the middle of summer in such a heated situation takes its toll on Jiro as he passes out from what we later discover is a mild heat stroke. After waking up, Jiro thanks Akari for getting help and apologizes for being an inconvenience. But she then lectures him about being surprised at her kindness toward him. Once again, she expresses her commitment to their relationship and tells Jiro that she would like to get to know him more, saying that it would make living together more fun. The next day, while Jiro and Shiori are alone doing the dishes in the kitchen, Shiori expresses her worries about the upcoming courage test later that evening. The courage test involves everyone pairing into groups of two and taking a walk through the surrounding woods at night. However, with rumors of the woods being haunted, Shiori was worried that she may be a liability to whomever her partner may be. Acting out of loyalty to Jiro, Kamo rigs the drawing lots process, making sure that Jiro is paired with Shiori, and as a special favor to Jiro, he also pairs Akari with Minami. During their walk, Akari and Minami get separated and Akari ends up lost. Despite assurances from everyone that the woods were a safe place, Jiro ventures out in the dark under the rain to find his wife, but in doing so, he leaves Shiori behind. After searching tirelessly, all Jiro was able to recover was Akari's phone, which she must have dropped mistakenly. Meanwhile, Minami, who was also searching for Akari, stumbles upon her sitting in the rain. On hearing the sounds of approaching footsteps, Akari immediately blurts out Jiro's name, but is surprised and a tad disappointed to see Minami. Leading her to a nearby gazebo, Minami and Akari wait for the rain to subside. As they do, Minami expresses his relief that Akari called out Jiro's name first instead of his. In doing so, he helps Akari realize that Jiro is the one she actually likes. Minami also squashes the rumors that he likes Shiori. He knew that Shiori had feelings for someone else, and he sincerely hoped that these rumors do not affect Shiori's chances with the guy she likes. Finally getting closure from her longtime crush on Minami, Akari is more motivated than ever to work towards making Jiro hers. Meanwhile, Shiori meets up with Jiro, who is still searching for Akari, and informs him that Minami had found her. Jiro and Shiori get to talking while they wait out the rain. When Shiori asks if their kiss was his first and Jiro doesn't reply, she stands up to leave, but Jiro gets up and holds her back. Making an effort to compete with Akari, whom she guesses must have been Jiro's first kiss, Shiori draws closer to Jiro and the two share a passionate kiss under the rain. With the arrival of the summer vacation, Shiori is able to avoid Jiro for a while. Following their kiss in the rain, she had walked away without a word, once again leaving Jiro confused. Later on, Jiro accidentally runs into Shiori at a manga store and finds out that she was getting manga for her younger brother. When it suddenly rains, Shiori invites Jiro to the apartment she stayed at during the marriage practical, and since Minami was away on vacation, the both of them had the place to themselves. Out on the balcony, Jiro, after hours of stressing about how to make the best of his time with Shiori, finally decides to make a move. However, at the same time, Shiori shows him a group photo they took at the beach while working at the cafe. After staring at Akari, who was also in the photo for a while, Jiro suddenly changes his mind about doing anything with Shiori. A few days later, Akari reaches out to Jiro under the pretense of being bored and uses the opportunity to invite him on a date. Since they weren't playing for points right now as the marriage practical was on hold during the vacation, Jiro can't imagine why Akari would want to hang out with him for no reason. Later that day, Jiro and Akari meet up, and to Jiro's surprise, it turns out Akari really did want to spend time with him. At the end of the date, Akari realizes she had forgotten to buy a charm at the shrine, and accompanied by Jiro, she hurriedly heads back. On their way, Jiro and Akari chance upon Shiori. After a quick analysis of the situation, Shiori unexpectedly challenges Akari to race her to the shrine. Recognizing that Shiori had just acknowledged her as a rival, Akari accepts the challenge and the two take off at full speed. Left behind clueless, Jiro races after them carrying their bags. Upon reaching the shrine, he joins the girls in offering prayers. As he does so, Jiro recalls that the shrine is famous for fulfilling romantic wishes. Standing in between Shiori and Akari, he looks both ways at each of them before finally shutting his eyes and clasping his hands to offer his prayers.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.